Hi, this is Remembering the Past, the show where we talk about people who've died recently who've had a profound effect on our history, our society, or our culture. All actors tonight, two versatile actresses before we come to our feature, an actor. And we're going to start out with Elena Verdugo, who died recently at the age of 92. Elena Verdugo was a nice Spanish girl born in Paso Robles, and she had a couple of different careers in show business. She was a nice-looking young woman, but she was stuck in B parts at Universal, so for a little while she sang with Xavier Cugat's band, and she recorded this famous number. I wonder what Desi Arnaz was thinking.
And when he says cuckoo, he means it's time to woo. Tickle time for all the lovers in the bar. I've got a heavy day, cause at tickle time I used to getting late. If I'm a time cuckoo, but if I'm late, woo, the moment my heart is gone to rain, I want to wait. Just a birdie and a birdie who goes nowhere. He knows of every lover's lane how to go there. For in affairs of the heart, my ticket's carefully smart. He's always jetty fundamentally at the start. Oh, I hear my little tickle calling, because the time is right and trees are not falling. I never loved cuckoo on the clock. Tickle, start.
That's TICO. TICO, you may know that better by the Andrews Sisters. Anyway, when television came in, Elena Verdugo wanted to play Spanish characters, but she didn't get many roles, so they had her playing white bread Americans, like this Drek on Petticoat Junction, where she's Mary Jane Hawkins.
Here we are, Mary Jane. Oh, it's just as I remembered it, and I was so afraid the old charm would be gone. Why? Well, Mr. Carson spoke about all the modern facilities you've installed. Oh, those. Everything looks exactly as it was.
The calendar's new.
Mary Jane, I want to fetch my girls. They're dying to see you. Let's see. This is Bobby Joe.
Hello. Betty Joe.
It's Billy Joe, of
Hello.
course. Oh, well, you certainly have grown. I can remember when the little boys used to chase after you.
Now it's the big boys.
But Elena Verdugo is best known for the character she played in the early 1970s when she was paired with Robert Young and James Brolin. And she finally got to play a Spanish character when she was the Spanish nurse Consuelo Lopez on Marcus Welby, MD, and she demanded that her Spanish character not be a subservient nurse but a fiercely independent one. She got a couple of Emmy nominations for it and a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame.
I got all the way over to Mrs. Daisy and didn't have her file. Where is it?
On your desk, Doc.
Don't make Daisy and move.
Was that Dr. Welby? No, that was Pancho Villa.
CRUSADER?
That's Dr. Welby.
Back in the 70s, when you heard the name Consuelo on television, you thought of Elena Verdugo. We're going to move on now to Glenne Headly, who died recently at the age of 62. Glenne Headly was born in Connecticut, but she first made her name here in Chicago when she was part of the Steppenwolf Theater ensemble. She's one of the great actresses in Chicago theater. I saw her in Bomb and Gilead, which is one of the great performances ever in Chicago theater. I also saw her at Wisdom Bridge in Mother Courage, and she won a number of Jefferson Awards, which is the highest award in Chicago theater. She also met and married John Malkovich, who was one of the other Steppenwolf players. They were married for a while, then he took up with Michelle Pfeiffer, and she didn't like that, so she divorced him. You'll hear Michelle Pfeiffer's name later again. Anyway, Glenne Headly moved out to California and gave several great performances. I think her two best are the following. One is Dirty Rotten Scoundrels, where she plays opposite Michael Caine.
First, intros. Nickos, get over here. Nickos, come here.
All right, Paula.
Come on, everybody. I want you to meet Mr. Big Stuff. I was showing Nickos property in Florida. He goes, if I'm going to invest $16 million, I want to do it someplace new. I say, like where? He goes, how about Australia? And then it hits me. Boom, Australia. What are you kidding me? We got to go meet Mr. Australia himself, I say. So he goes, why not? I go, why not? Pretty soon the whole group goes,
Why not?
So here we are. So, Nikos Papadopoulos, I'd like you to meet the favorite son of Australia, Chips O'Toole. Aren't you going to say anything?
G'day, Nikos.
You can tell one of her specialties was dialects. Her other great role was opposite Richard Dreyfuss in Mr. Holland's Opus.
You want to go to the what?
Stars. Cole discovered astronomy tonight.
Whoa, slow down. You're going like a rocket.
He wants to be an astronaut.
Who put that stuff in his head?
As a matter of fact, his teachers. Thought you were going to meet us.
Well, I wanted to, but I had to get these orchestrations finished by the end of the week for the kids. We're going to do a Gershwin.
It's always something, isn't it? If it isn't a school play, it's band practice or grading papers or some student committee needs an advisor.
This thing of science fair is at the end of the world.
Maybe you didn't hear me this morning.
I heard you. I always hear you.
He wanted you to be there tonight.
You know what's really amazing? No matter what I do, no matter how hard I try, sooner or later, anything I try turns out being wrong.
Why is every other child more important to you than your child?
I'm a teacher, Iris.
You are his father.
I'm both. I do one thing, I let him down. I do another thing, I let the school. How the hell am I supposed to be everything for everybody? Huh?
You have to make priorities.
I am! Oh. He's my son, and I love him. And I do the best I goddamn can, okay?
Well, you know what? Your best isn't good enough. So go on, write your music.
In those two movies, Glenne Headly stole the scenes from two Academy Award-winning Best Actors, Michael Caine and Richard Dreyfuss. By way of introduction of our feature tonight, there's this. That's right, our feature is one of the greatest iconic characters in American television, Adam West, who died recently at the age of 88, and he was Batman. When he became the Cape Crusader in 1966, he was almost certainly the most popular television character in the world. He started out a decade before that in some of those Warner Brothers westerns and dramas where they were trying to put ABC on the map. I'll play you one that I played during the James Garner podcast, where he's a bad guy and Maverick gets the draw on him.
Let go! Let me down! Burke tells me you put him up to a fight. I can't talk upside down. You can't talk right side up, but you're going to talk even if it's inside out. You do remember the question, don't you? Don't ask it. I did it for you, for your own good.
Here he is with Doug McClure in another one of those Warner Brothers westerns where he's Wild Bill Hickok.
There's any killing around here. I'm going to do it.
I'm sure glad to see you, Wild Bill. This party was getting a little rough.
Well, I don't think you're going to be so glad when I tell you you're under arrest.
And he also did 77 Sunset Strip, and here's that clip I just played with Mary Tyler Moore and Roger Smith, both of whose podcasts we've done.
Trapped you cad.
Lonnie.
Always knew Jeff was a fast man with the chicks, but not this fast.
Oh, Lonnie, really, it wasn't anything.
I know, baby. You go on back to Dino's and wait for me.
Thank you, Jeff.
Pleasure. Some girl.
Howie Horowitz was involved with 77 Sunset Strip. That's how Roger Smith got his part. And I'm sure he had Adam West in mind when Batman came to the fore a couple years later. He did a couple of movies in the late 50s, early 60s. He was in The Young Philadelphians. He had a brief role in one of my favorite movies, Soldier in the Rain, with Steve McQueen and Jackie Gleason, screenplay by William Goldman. And I remember going to see him at the theater when I was a little boy. He was Robinson Crusoe on Mars. But his career really wasn't going anywhere. Adam West was going to go to Europe to do some commercials in a sort of a James Bond role, but they asked him to do this Batman series. The key thing about Adam West was he got the joke immediately. No one had ever seen anything like this. It went on the air in January 1966, and it shot to the top of the ratings. With his faithful warden sidekick, the boy wonder, Robin, he became the baby boomers generation's ultimate camp guy. And he was, of course, not only Batman, but Bruce Wayne as well. And no one could ever figure that out.
Yes, Commissioner. Mr. Freeze wants what?
Hello? I'll see if I can get him, Chief O'Hara.
A moment, Commissioner. Chief O'Hara, this is Bruce Wayne. Mr. Freeze wants what?
Commissioner Gordon is on the other phone with Batman, Mr. Wayne. Perhaps if we put the two phones together, you could talk to him yourself.
All right, Chief. I don't have much time. Batman? Yes, Mr. Wayne. Have you heard Mr. Freeze's scurrilous demands? Just briefly. If Robin and I act as go-betweens, are you prepared to make the telecast at midnight and pay the ransom, Mr. Wayne? I have no choice, Batman. Then may I suggest you tape the broadcast from the Commissioner's office an hour earlier, and we will have a dummy package of money. A dummy package of money? That sounds risky. Risk is our business, Mr. Wayne. Of course, Batman, I have the same faith in you that all of Gotham City has. I hope Robin and I are deserving of that faith. I'll make the necessary arrangements and meet you at the Commissioner's office at 11. Fine. Did you get all that, Commissioner?
Indeed I did, Batman. We'll set up the tape telecast and have the dummy package of money waiting. See you at 11 tonight. Two fine men. So dissimilar in many respects, and yet so similar in others.
Of course, one of the best features of Batman were the villains. They hired great actors and told them just overact as much as you want. You had definitive performances by people like Frank Gorshin as the Riddler, Burgess Meredith as the Penguin, and Cesar Romero as the Joker. But besides her figure in that tight leather outfit, Julie Newmar brought a special something to the role of Catwoman.
Sonic beam in this gun can slice like a hot knife through the high-priced spread. But I've reached an impasse. Shall I steal your voice or end your life?
Whichever you decide, I'm sure it'll be the wrong choice.
You've a pretty sharp tongue for a man about to say goodbye to this world, Batman. Beg for your mortal existence.
I'd rather die than beg for such a small favor as my life. What are you waiting for?
Can't you see how I feel about you, Batman? How I want you
by my side.
It won't work, Catwoman. If you're going to kill me, you might as well get it over with.
I can't kill the only man that I've...
Don't worry, Catwoman. You wouldn't have killed me even though you shot the gun. The anti-bat sonic device in my utility belt would have deflected the beam.
Well, it was a good plot while it lasted.
Yes, Catwoman, one of your very best.
Thank you.
But still, the problem remains. How do we undo what you did?
The stolen voices.
Yes.
Oh, well, you just have them all spray their throats with the atomizer. Get them back to normal in seconds, huh?
Amazing.
You see, my voice eraser electronically loosened the vocal cords and just have them spray it and it'll tighten them right back up again.
Amazing.
Batman, when I get out of jail, will you take me on a date?
We'll have plenty of time to think about that, Catwoman. Several years, I'm afraid.
If I were to kiss you, would you think I was a bad girl?
But, no. No, of course not, Catwoman. Kissing is one of the most natural things in the world. Some people kiss almost every day, I'm told.
Well?
Come on, Batman, the police are here.
Boy, blunder.
Catwoman, may I take a rain check on that kiss?
Certainly, Batman. Anytime.
That's good stuff. Like I said, Adam West was the most popular television character in the world in 1966, and here he does a commercial for savings bonds during the Vietnam War as Batman.
Hello, boys and girls. I have a special message for you from the President of the United States. Let me read it to you. I salute the boys and girls who are buying United States savings stamps and bonds through the Treasury's School Savings Program. They're learning the lessons of practical citizenship and of wise money management, and they're giving important support to the cause of freedom and the men who fight for us in Vietnam. That message is on this wallet-size U.S. Savings Bonds pledge card, which you'll get in school as soon as you begin to buy U.S. savings stamps. Let's get started today. What do you say?
Well, Batman burned out after 3 seasons, and of course Adam West was typecast, but he never let it bother him. He did a lot of autograph shows, and he also did some great appearances on things like The Simpsons.
The Batmobile. Adam West! Hey kids, Batman!
Dad, that's not the real Batman.
Of course I'm Batman. See, here's a picture of me with Robin.
Who the hell's Robin?
Oh, I guess you're only familiar with the new Batman movies. Michelle Pfeiffer. The only true Catwoman is Julie Newmar, Lee Merriweather, or Eartha Kitt. And I didn't need molded plastic to improve my physique. Pure West. And how come Batman doesn't dance anymore? Remember the Bat-2C?
Don't worry, we're coming back to the Bat-2C. A younger generation doesn't even know Adam West as Batman. They know him as Mayor Adam West on Family Guy, where they never mention Batman.
Mayor West, what are you doing here?
I'm being a rascal and ringing people's doorbells and running away.
Then what are you still doing here?
It's my first house. I'm not very good at this.
Adam West had what television needed, a great sense of humor and a great sense of theater. Well, I'm going to close on that note. I want to thank my producer and IT genius, Sid Tapp. So I'm going to close tonight with Batman doing the Bat-2C back in 1966 with Jill St. John, the only villainess who ever died on Batman. She was one of Riddler's henchmen. She fell into a nuclear reactor in the Batcave, and Batman said, "What a way to go." And yes, Adam West did shake a pretty mean cape.
Please, it's Batman! Anything I can do for you, sir? Check your tape.
Ringside table, Batman? Just one, thanks. I'll stand at the bar. I shouldn't wish to attract attention. A large fresh orange juice, please. Yes, sir.
Well, friend, maybe you can help me. I've got a problem. Why is a quarrel like a bargain?
What master taught you to read?
The answer is it takes two to make it. Like beautiful music, like the dance. Shall we?
Your orange juice, sir. Batman special.
What's your name?
Molly.
You interest me, stranger. I accept your invitation.
You shake a pretty mean cake, Batman.
It's nothing.